Okay, so this is the moment everybody has been waiting for. So the question was if I can do the Mambo. I'm gonna give you the answer right now. No, I can't. I'm not really a great dancer. I like to dance, but I'm not really good at it. I'm more of a rock and roll type of person. But instead, I'm here to talk to you about Mambo Merge, which is this little nifty tool that we use in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Um, and yeah, I'll show you what I've been learning about that Mambo. So you might be asking, what's Mambo Merge? It's a document generation tool. Um, it's built on top of the Salesforce platform and can be extended by Apex, Visual Force, Lightning Web Components, and flows. There's a free basic version that allows you to do quite a lot of things, and there's a paid plan that gives you more features and more. You can handle more types of documents, not just Word documents, but Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations, and so on. So here's the URL for Mambo and the URL for the package in App Exchange. Of course, you can go directly to App Exchange and just do a quick search for Mambo, and it's, I think, the only or a couple of packages that come up with that name. So document generation tool works by ingesting templates, just like the one here at the right hand side. And if you've been ever have used a template engine or for HTML framework, JSON, something like handlebars, you'll find the syntax very familiar. You grab everything in curly braces, and the syntax for consuming the Salesforce data, it's pretty similar to what you find in SQL. So you write the name of the fields, um, like name, plain name, or if it's, of course, a custom field, the field name underscore underscore C or underscore underscore X if it's an external object, and so on. Or you can prepend the name of the object if you are using several different types of objects in a single template. There are constructs like looping, like here for each, which will allow you to iterate to collections, which comes handy, for instance, to show the list of related for an object, like all the opportunity line items for an opportunity. You can drag and drop, and I'll show you this, templates directly in the Mambo Merge component, or you can put it and use it with taking the content document ID. We'll see that a little later. So let's start with the very basics. So let's do some Mambo. So I'm not a super big fan of slides, but I also have very bad memory. So when I see a cool presentation, then I forget what I saw. I thought I will leave this for people to look at afterwards. But let's get our hands dirty. So here we have a developer org. We're gonna go to a contact record. And here we already have the merge component. Let me bring, I have a few templates prepared. So here's, like with the very apt name of simple contact template, it's just fields on the contact record, and just this one referencing the account. And this is a function for to give today's date. And simply what we're gonna do, it's drag and drop on the component, and it generates the document and downloads it. And here's the generated output, the last name, first name, title, email, account, and so on. So that right there is pretty useful. You can start thinking of a lot of applications for this, like invoices, quotes, and in Rockhold, we we use it for acknowledgement letters. When we receive donations at the end of the year, we send everybody like a letter thanking them for their donation and things like that. So okay, doing what we just saw in the slide, that we're gonna put the Mambo Merge component in a Lightning page. So we're gonna edit it. It's super simple, and I don't have a lot of custom Lightning components in this org, so it's easy just to scroll down, or you can filter it. And we're gonna drag and drop it in the page. There are some further configurations that can be done. Here in template ID, like I was saying, if you upload one template as a file in Salesforce, you'll get the identifier and put it here. So instead of you needing to drag and drop the file, it's gonna know which one you want to use. Right now, let's leave it like that. Go back. And there's the component, and it's gonna work the same. We can drag and drop it. It's gonna generate the output. And this template, it's a little more complex. It's showing the related account to the opportunity, and then it's iterating through the collection of opportunity line items. So let's keep doing the Mambo. So the next thing we could do is do special configurations within Mambo Merge. In the component, in the top right corner, there's a drop down, and you will go to setup there and create your own configurations. There are several options that you have. Create configurations for single records, records that meet certain criteria, invoking records from a flow, or this new feature that was just released, invoking it from a report. You can specify which template you're going to use and what you want to do with the generated document. And this part, it's really nifty. And actually, I want to show you that in the org. So here's the dropdown I was referencing. We go to setup, and we're going to go to this configuration. That's the one that I was showing in the slides. So it's single opportunity with opportunity line items or something of that nature. It's going to be a single record. Right now, I'm not specifying any relationships. Here in merge data, you can see the fields that you have at your disposal. So if you don't know the name of the field, you can look at here and what type of output you can expect. Here is where you specify the document. So you can upload it right here, or pick from others that have been previously uploaded. So I uploaded the with line item. I don't want another one right now. And like I was saying, you can specify what you want to do with it. You can download immediately, attach it to a record, or save to a library. And you can specify the name of the generated file. So all files generated by this configuration are going to start with up with line items, and then the name of the opportunity and today's date. And I wanted to specify some post-merge actions. So each time we generate a document, it's going to create a task called an important task, which has a due date of 7 days. And I created a couple of custom fields in the opportunity record, in the opportunity object. One, it's a checkbox called doc generated, just to symbolize that a document was generated, and we're going to timestamp it. That's pretty much it. And you have to give it a configuration ID for you to be able to use it. And I guess this is a little piece of advice out of experience. We started doing a lot of configurations, and we call them like config one, opportunity two, and then we didn't know which one was which. So try to give them a good, meaningful name. So what you're gonna do next to use it, you go. Oh no, I'm sorry. You'll go to edit the lining page. You'll go to the Mambo component, and here, instead of dropping a GUID of a file, you can add the configuration name. We're gonna save it. Right there, you can see that immediately change from upload file to single up with line items template, which is a label that we specified along the way in the configuration. So here are the fields that I was telling you about. They're empty right now, and we're gonna click the Mambo button. The action was to download immediately. Here's the generated document. Gonna refresh the record. And there's an important task for us to fulfill within 7 days. Go into details, and the fields were updated. Right, let's keep going. This is a thing that I found extremely interesting and useful. So you saw the configuration wizard to create Mambo configurations. It's all UI driven, drag and drop, point and click. But in the backend, all those configurations get represented in a JSON format, and they're stored as static resources in Salesforce. I don't know if you guys can start imagining how that could be useful. So a couple of things come to mind. So I'll show you the static resource for the configuration JSON. First thing I can imagine is like, okay, it's text-based. We can add it to version control. So we can add it to our repository and keep track of changes. And if you have it in version control, or even if you don't, you can use it to promote. If you're configuring in a sandbox and you want to promote to production, you can use it as part of your continuous integration pipeline and deploy, or using in a change set just to promote changes from one org to another. So here's the representation of all the configurations that we have right now. Maybe you'll remember some of the configuration names. Here they are, and everything that was specified, what template it is. Here's the actual GUID of the file for the template. Let's take a look at another that's doing something else. For example, the one that we just saw, single opportunity with line items. We specified the template, and we also specified some merge actions, like saving the task, the due date, and updating records, what records. So everything it's here in this JSON file, saved as a static resource. Okay, let's carry on. So far, all we have seen is for single document, a single contact, single opportunity. Of course, that's useful, but it will be really great to generate multiple documents at once. So mass generation, it's something that we really needed. I'll tell you that in the Rockwell, we had another document generation solution, and it was able to do this, but it was cost prohibitive. And with Mambo, we were able to do it. If you remember on the beginning, I mentioned that it can be extended through native Salesforce mechanisms, Apex, flows, and so on. I'll show you that there are a few recipes in the Mambo Merge project repository, and you can take them as a sample to get inspiration, or use it right as they are. One that I have is the opportunity list view batch. There's a Aura component and a Visualforce page, and if you used this before, it has this really useful feature, which I think it was developed by Andy Hunt, to deploy Salesforce repositories directly to your org. So I'm gonna show you a little about that. Well, it looks. I just remembered that I had planned to tell you the reason behind the Mambo Merge name is that there's another very popular document generation tool called Conga, and the urban legend said that the license was so expensive that if a company had one license, everybody else in the company will line up in this person's computer that had the license and wait for him to generate documents for them, in effect creating a conga line. So Mambo said, like, okay, we're gonna call ourselves Mambo. Thought it was kind of interesting. So here's the Visualforce page. You don't really require to do a lot of coding unless you want to do something very custom. All I did here was to the template ID was opportunity list view. I changed it to be mass opportunity, and I misspelled that, docgen config, to invoke that configuration. Something else that needs to be done, it's create a button for us to invoke that Visualforce page. Go here to buttons, links, and actions, and here's the button that I'm using to invoke it. It's gonna be a list button. Definitely we wanted to allow multi-record selection, and the action is to take the content from a Visualforce page, and we specify which one. So let's go back to the opportunity list view, and we're gonna select a few opportunities. Oh, first, let me do something really quick. I'd like to show you the configuration for that. So if you remember, we were invoking mass opportunity docgen config, the misspelled one, and we're specifying the template. It's going to be a download immediately. It's going to generate the file with the name of up collection and today's date. What post merge actions? Just update the fields. Okay, so let's do it. Here comes the generated file. Close this other one. So here we have one opportunity, another, and the third one. So that's basically it. I want to take the chance to show you how easy it is to deploy. I didn't rehearse this part, so I'm a little nervous, but so easy to work. If you're curious, this is what gets invoked. And yeah, here, like I was saying, Andy in the cloud is the developer of this handy feature. So we're gonna log into Salesforce. This is what's gonna get deployed. Actually just completed, and we can see it here. Something was deployed on March the 11th. So now we will have that available. And there it is, the contact list view, Visualforce page. Okay, let's go back to our slides. Let's keep doing the Mambo. So we showed this. This is how you deploy one of those recipes, and you of course can start your own Lightning component, your own Visualforce page, but you can start from a recipe. This is what I showed you about creating the button and adding it to the list view layout. The other thing that I want to show you is invoking from Flow. I know there's a lot of Flow fanatics out there, so this should be very exciting for all of you. We're going to flows. The basic Mambo flow. So a few things had to be declared. A collection variable enabled for input and output and allowing collections, of course. And this is intended for us to receive the list of selected records within a list view. And then what's done loop is to iterate through that collection. And all that we're going to do essentially is come up with a comma separated list of values. We're going to concatenate the ID on each iteration and then append a comma. When the loop, we go to a screen element, and we have the Mambo Merge component, and we passed record ID. This is where we're generating our comma separated list of values, and the template ID. And I added this text element to output the record ID. Just, I don't know, just to show that how the comma separated list looks like. And basically all we have to do, well, of course, we create a button, just like in the previous one. Since it's a flow, it's slightly different. So to create the button for a flow, we're going to specify that it's going to consume a URL, and the URL, you obtain it from the flow, and that's what you add there. That's how we Mambo flow button. So let's check something. I don't know for which ones I have generated documents already. Not this one, nor this one. on something else. It's on the variables of the flow. I established that up mass.gen flow config is to use by default. So I want to show you that configuration. Here, this configuration needs to be invoked from a flow. Going to templates, and this time instead of downloading immediately, we're gonna make it so the generated files get stored in a library, and there are no post-merge actions. Two, and invoke the Mambo flow. It's taking a little while. Here's the text output that I mentioned. There they are, the two GUIDs of the opportunity records. And now invoking the flow. It says the files were generated successfully. Let's take a peek here. Oh, and there were no post-merge actions. I forgot about that. So we won't see the records changing in any way. But let's go take a look at the files, libraries, Mambo Merge templates, and here and there we have the two generated documents, ops from flow, the opportunity name, and today's date. There was that last option for configuration, which is to invoke from a report. That's rather new, so we haven't used it. At some other point, we might take a look at that. But for now, that was it. That's how we Mambo at the rock hole. So, do you guys have any questions?
That was very well done.
And you answered the question I have, what was related to the name of Mambo. I was wondering where it was coming from, so you gave the answer. So that was my main question during the presentation at the beginning. After the presentation was clear, so